To me, the most annoying part of playing as Mexico in Hearts of Iron 4 is dealing with the three possible civil wars, and there's a fourth one that's hidden that could happen. I'm going to spend some time talking about how to avoid these, or if you want, you could embrace them. If we go to the Events and Decisions tab, you see we have military issues, and the first one is the Second Cristeria War, and this gets triggered if we become an atheist state. There'll be a countdown, and then the Catholics will rebel. On the flip side, the Second Mexican Revolution, if we become a fully Catholic state, then the atheists will rebel. And the third one, the Caudillo Rebellion, that one is a countdown timer that starts out with 150 days. Right now, tensions are moderate. Once that 150 days is up, there'll be a slight pause. Then the countdown bar, will be replaced with one of tensions high for 150 days. Once we get through that, there'll be a pause, and then there'll be a third countdown timer with tensions very high. Once that one completes, the rebellion will begin. And looking at my notes here, you have until roughly April 25th of 1937 to deal with this, avoiding the rebellion. In order to avoid that rebellion, if we look at the national focus tree, you need to get to either support General Cedillo or arrest General Cedillo. Either one of those will make it so that civil war doesn't happen. Also be aware that if you accidentally take, like Agricultural Credit Bank, if you're trying to support the general, then that'll close that off. Or if you take Jefe Maximo, that one will cut off the path to arrest the general. So when I play, I like to take care of this issue as quickly as possible, and I just rush down to arrest the general. And I usually go the communist route. If we look over here, once we get to red shirts, you can see in the tooltip that it's going to replace weak church with atheist state. Before that happens, they try to get control of the army. That's a quick one. Let's see what we start with. We start with a weak church. There are random events that happen. Usually you get one within the first couple months that will allow you to increase or decrease the level of the church. And if I increase it one, it's going to go from weak to assertive. And then I can take this anti-disestablishmentarianism focus, and that effect unlocks the decision to transfer lands to the church. Once that is completed, then going back to events and decisions under church power, you have the choice to transfer lands to the church or nationalize church lands. You can use these two options to adjust the power of the church and make sure that we don't go to full atheist state or full Catholic state. As you're rushing down the right side of the national focus tree, some of those communist focused national focuses will decrease the church level, but you can use transfer church lands to bump it back up to a weak state. If you cross the threshold of full Catholic or full atheist, then you're going to get a countdown timer. So as you're playing through as Mexico, you'll get these random pop-up events. Usually you'll get this one within the first few months of the game. The top choice will always increase the power of the church, and the bottom choice will decrease it. When I'm playing through, I'll use the rest in peace option to change weak church to assertive church, and then I can use that to get my anti-disestablishmentarianism, and that way I can use the land transfer or land nationalization to manipulate the power of the church. In this case, I'm going to hit the bottom option so that I can kick off the timer and show you that. Alright, here is another one of those pop-ups you'll randomly get. At this point, the bottom option no longer decreases the influence of the church because we're already at atheist state. So I'm going to pick it and get free political power. I'm going through the national focus tree so that I can kick off the second Cristeria War so we can see what that bar looks like. It won't kick off quite yet because I'm not deep enough in the focus tree. I'm headed towards the red shirts, and that's what will unlock it. I have now completed the red shirts national focus, and we can see that we now have that 150-day countdown timer until the Civil War. So this one is an easy civil war to win. Sometimes it's better just to deal with it if you're not trying to conquer Central America at this point. But it is always better to avoid civil wars in this game, as they do weaken you a little bit. This is what I like to refer to as a surprise civil war. So, in this case, communism is on the rise. Let's take a look at our political status. We can see that we basically only have two political parties, and the Communist Party has 62% and the unaligned 35%. The Communist Party has become so powerful that if we don't allow them to take control of the nation, they will start a civil war. If you choose the top choice, the Communists will take control. If you choose this will blow over, about 2 weeks later, you're going to get another pop-up that gives you a choice of which side you want to be on for the civil war that's going to happen. So for this example currently, we'll choose need a referendum and look at that, and then later I'll show you what happens if you choose the bottom choice and go through the Civil War. So having done that, the Communist Party is now in control. Look at the national focus tree. If you want Trotsky to be the leader of Mexico, then you need to complete Communist Revolution. Should have completed this when there is 40% support for the Communist Party, but I wanted to show you what happens if you just let it ride. Alternately, that could have been avoided by coming down and hitting Party of the Revolution. However, this one doesn't put Trotsky in charge, so it depends what you're going for. On the last notification that popped up where it said that communists wanted a referendum, if you chose this will blow over. Shortly thereafter, you'll get this pop-up saying communists rise up. If you choose the first option, you stay as unaligned as the ruling party, and the communists will start a civil war. If you go this path and you win the civil war, yet the Communist Party still has most of the popularity in the country, you're just gonna cause this pop-up to fire again and be forced into another civil war. So if you see this, it's best to choose the bottom option, or this will just cycle over and over again. So once You start the Civil War. The president will change, but it's not going to be Trotsky. In order for it to be Trotsky, you need to complete communist revolution here. As you can see in the tooltip, one of the requirements is we're not in a civil war, so you have to win the Civil War before you can take this national focus.